The film is about a clown named Art, and there's no telling who or what Art the clone, David Howard Thornton, is. He's clearly some kind of unstoppable supernatural force, but there's no origin given, no explanation, and I didn't want or need one. When Tara, Jenna Cannell, and Dawn, Catherine Corcoran, find themselves stalked by the creepy clown Art the Clone on their way home from a Halloween party, the last thing they expect is for their car to break down. They're forced to flee. Chris Flynn is driving his car to a job interview in another city. However, an accident with a truck carrying chemical products blocks the highway, and Chris looks for an alternative route through the mountains of West Virginia to complete his schedule. Due to inattention, he crashes into another car parked in the middle of the road with a flat tire. Chris meets a group of 5 friends who intend to camp in the woods, and they decide to leave the couple Franson and Even there, while Chris, Jessie, Carly, and her fiancé Scott try to find help.
Seriously, this isn't funny.
After the first massacre in 1974, the townspeople suspected the Sawyer family was responsible. A mob of angry locals surrounded the Sawyer house, burned it to the ground, and killed the entire family. Decades later, a young woman named Heather learns that she has inherited her grandmother's land in Texas. She decides to take her friends on a road trip to investigate her heritage.
Something coming. Back up. Back up! Back up, Nick!
6 friends are on their way to a football game. They decide to camp out overnight and continue their journey the next day. The next day, the friends find themselves having car trouble, so 2 of the friends take a ride from a stranger to a small town called Ambrose. The main attraction in Ambrose is the House of Wax. Except for something else that is wrong in this town, the wax figures are very realistic and the entire town is empty except for 2 murderous twin brothers. The 6 friends must fight to survive and escape to avoid becoming the next exhibit at the House of Wax. Martin is a mentally ill loner who lives with his mother in a grim housing project. He works the night shift as a security guard in an equally grim and creepy underground parking complex. To escape his grim life, Martin immerses himself in the fantasy world of the cult horror film, The Human Centipede. First sequence, 2009. Glorifying the meticulous surgical skills of the gifted Dr. Heiter, whose knowledge of the human digestive system inspires Martin to attempt the unthinkable. A group of young adults set up camp near an abandoned summer camp, where a series of gruesome murders are said to have occurred in 1980. The perpetrator was a grieving mother, driven mad by the drowning of her son Jason, who she claimed was abandoned by a camp counselor. According to legend, the last survivor of the attack beheaded the woman. However, Jason returned, and he is now a vengeful and merciless killer, wielding crossbows, swords, axes, and other sharp instruments. The legends prove to be very true, as these campers soon discover.
And today is his birthday.
A film about 2 homicide detectives, Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt, desperate to hunt down a serial killer who justifies his crimes as forgiveness for the world's ignorance of the 7 deadly sins. The film takes us from the tortured remains of one victim to the next as the sociopathic John Doe, Kevin Spacey, lectures detectives Somerset and Mills, one sin at a time. The sin of gluttony comes first, and the killer's horrific capacities are laid bare in the dark, sober tones that are characteristic of film noir.
Away from completing his masterpiece.